Hello students, myself Rakesh Chauhan working as PGT Physics in Suraj Group of Schools. I welcome you all in the e-learning classes of physics. Today our topic for discussion is force between two parallel and anti-parallel current carrying conductors. So we will derive the formula force per unit length and force exerted between the two parallel or anti-parallel current carrying conductors, and we will also discuss that two parallel current carrying conductors attract each other while the two anti-parallel current carrying conductors repel each other. So before I start this topic, I would like to recall you that we have studied in our last video, which is also related to this topic also. So in our last video, we have discussed that when a current carrying conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field, it feel or it experiences a force, and this perpendicular force basically is given as F is equal to I L cross B. And if you can remember from that lecture that this force vector or the direction of this force can be determined using Fleming's left hand rule. So here also we are going to use this Fleming's left hand rule, which is very important in determining the direction of magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. So let us start with the diagram of this topic, because using the diagrams it is more easy to understand why the parallel current carrying conductors attract each other and the anti parallel current carrying conductors actually repel each other. So suppose I have one conductor which is carrying a current I1 in this direction, and in the vicinity of this conductor I have placed one more conductor in which current flowing is I2, and these are the parallel current carrying conductors in which the direction of current is same, and if the direction is reverse in one of the conductor, then they will be said to be as anti-parallel current carrying conductor. So first we will talk about parallel current carrying conductor, and thereafter we will extend our point of view to the anti-parallel current carrying conductors. Okay, so first of all question comes in our mind that why they exert force on each other. So although there is no magnetic field, external magnetic field in fact I should say, because these parallel current carrying conductors itself carrying some current, but there is no other magnetic field or external magnetic field, even if they feel or they exert force on each other. So what is the reason behind exerting the force? So the reason is simple. This current carrying conductor, I can say this conductor is placed in the magnetic field of this conductor, and since this is carrying current itself, therefore it will feel or experience a force. In the same way we can say that this conductor is placed in the magnetic field of this, and therefore it will also experience the same nature or same type of force. Okay, now let us talk about the direction of force which will be exerted by this conductor on this and this conductor on this. So for that we have to first determine the direction of magnetic field in which these both are kept close to each other. So the direction of magnetic field due to this current carrying conductor in the right of this conductor will be perpendicularly inward. Using right hand thumb rule, I can say that the direction of magnetic field due to this conductor will be inward in this direction and outward in this direction. The magnetic field will be outward due to this conductor. Okay, so since the force experienced by this conductor is due to the magnetic field of this, therefore we have to write the sign or we can say direction of magnetic field of this conductor nearby this conductor. So I am representing it as perpendicularly inward, and the symbol is crossed circle. Okay, now this conductor is placed in the left hand side of this conductor. Therefore, when I am talking about the direction of magnetic field in which this conductor is being placed, you will say perpendicularly outward. So perpendicularly outward means circle dot. So this is the direction of B2, I can say magnetic field due to I2, and this is the direction of B1, that is magnetic field of I1. So I hope this concept you must have grasp, because if you don't know the concept, or if you don't understand the concept of the sign conventions or the direction of magnetic field, then it will become very difficult to understand the direction of magnetic force. Okay, now we are having the direction of current, we are having the direction of magnetic field, then using Fleming's left hand rule we can easily find out the direction of magnetic force. For this conductor, the direction of magnetic force, you can say that according to the Fleming's left hand rule, this finger represents the direction of current, this finger represents the direction of magnetic field, then thumb represents the direction of magnetic force. So I am trying to adjust these mutually perpendicular fingers in this direction. So the direction of magnetic field is perpendicularly outward. Perpendicularly outward means in this direction, and I should be here. Okay, the direction of magnetic field is perpendicularly outward. The direction of current is upward direction. So the direction of thumb is in this direction, means the force will be exerted in this direction. Okay, so let us represent it by F1. Suppose this is F1 vector. Okay, now we want to find the direction of F2 vector on this current carrying conductor. So in this diagram, you can say only the direction of magnetic field is just reverse, otherwise current is flowing in upward direction. So you will say the direction of magnetic force will be in this direction, or we can say in opposite direction, or otherwise you can easily find out the direction of magnetic force using Fleming's left hand rule. Once again, we have to put this finger in the direction of magnetic field, in this direction, perpendicularly inward. The direction of current is this direction, so the force will be exerted in this direction. Okay, so this conductor is attracting this conductor, and similarly this conductor is attracting this conductor towards each other, I can say. Therefore the parallel current carrying conductors attract each other, and in the same way you can prove for the anti-parallel current carrying conductors, which will repel each other. Okay, now this is the part, or this is how we can understand the direction of force. Now we are coming on to the derivative part of this topic, or how much force actually been exerted by these two conductors on each other. So now force exerted on conductor 1 by conductor 2. So you will say F1 is equals to I, or in fact I1 L1 cross B1, or you can say ILB sine theta. In fact I1 L1 and B1 or B2, you will say B2, because this force is exerted by the B2 magnetic field, or you can say this conductor is placed in the magnetic field of second conductor. Okay, so this is equation suppose first. Now can you put the value of B2 here? Yes, magnetic field due to conductor 2. This is conductor 2. In fact, this is conductor 1. So you need not to be confused here. Magnetic field due to conductor 2 on this point, or we can say where the wire is being placed, and we have to assume the distance between these two parallel current carrying conductors. So suppose I have assumed this as D. So you will say B2 will be mu 0 I2, because I2 is current flowing in this wire, and divided by distance. So distance at 2 pi and D. If you can remember the formula of magnetic field due to infinite current carrying conductor, and that was mu 0 I upon 2 pi A, in fact. So in place of A, I have assumed this distance as D. So this is the value of magnetic field, and if I put this value into equation first, so I can have F1. And one more thing, the formula should be I1 L1 B2 sine theta, but here theta will be 90 degree, because theta is the angle between length vector and magnetic field vector. So the length is along this or along this, and the magnetic field is either perpendicularly outward or perpendicularly inward. Perpendicularly inward. This is perpendicularly inward, but no matter in which direction the magnetic field is, in both the cases the angle theta is 90 degree. So sine 90 becomes 1. So therefore I have written as it F1 is equal to ILB sine 90, that is ILB or I1 L1 B2, in fact. Okay. So F1 is equals to I1 L1, and in place of B2 mu 0 I2 upon 2 pi D, and this can be written as mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D into L1. So this is the value of force, or if I write this expression as F1 upon L1 is equals to mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D. This is equation suppose third. In the similar way, we can derive, or we can write the expression for second case also, and the second case I can write down here is force experienced or exerted on conductor 2 due to conductor 1. So it will be F2 is equals to, once again ILB sine theta, but theta will be 90 degree. So F2 is equals to I2 L2, and the magnetic field will be of conductor 1, that is B1, because this wire is assumed to be placed in the magnetic field of conductor 1. Okay, and this is suppose equation 4. Now once again magnetic field of or due to conductor 1, in fact conductor 1 at a distance T will be B2 is equals to B1 is equals to mu 0 I1 upon 2 pi D, and this is equation suppose 5th. Now putting the value of B1 into equation 4th, I can have the value of F2 as I2 L2 P1, that is mu 0 I1 upon 2 pi D, and now it can be written as mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D into L2, in fact. And if I divide F2 by L2, then it comes out to be mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D. And interestingly, this equation 3rd and equation 6th both are same. F1 upon L1 is equal to mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D, and similarly F2 upon L2 is also equals to mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi D. So comparing equation 3rd third and sixth, what can be written? F1 upon L1 is equals to F2 upon L2. Means the force per unit length exerted on F1, or we can say conductor 1, is equals to force per unit length on conductor 2nd, or force per unit length on both the conductor is equal in magnitude. So this is how we can derive the formula of magnitude of the force, and we can understand the direction of force exerted by two parallel and anti-parallel current carrying conductor. So this expression you must remember, either this expression or this expression for the numerical point of view, and we will also use this equation to find or to define in fact 1 ampere current. So you can note it down for a while. So we have derived the formula of F1 or F2 is equals to mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi d into L1, and in case of F2 it will become mu 0 I1 I2 upon 2 pi d into L2. Okay, so suppose this is equation first or whatever it may be. So if I put here L1 is equals to 1 meter, means the length of conductor 1 is suppose unit meter or 1 meter, and I1 is equals to I2 is equals to I ampere. Okay, and D, separation between these two conductors is suppose also unit meter or 1 meter, and the force exerted is suppose 2 pi into 10 minus 7 Newton. Okay, so if these values, if I put in equation first, then F1 in place of F1 I have to put 2 pi into 10 minus 7 is equals to mu 0, you all know the value is 4 pi into 10 minus 7, and I1 I2 is I square, and L1 is 1 meter divided by 2 pi into 1 meter. Okay, so this 10 minus 7 will cancel out by 10 minus 7, this 2 pi will, or 4 pi will cancel out by this, and it will be I should take this force as 2 F1 is equal to 2 into 10 minus 7. So this 2 will cancel out by this 2. Okay, so I can write here that I square becomes 1, and now you can understand why we have taken F1 is equal to 2 into 10 minus 7 Newton, so that we can get I square is equal to 1 and I is equals to plus minus 1 ampere, you can say. So this is how we can define the 1 ampere current using the concept of force per unit length, or we can say the force exerted by the two conductors on each other. Okay, now we have to include all these parameters into our definition. So first I will try to make you understand that how this definition can be framed. So if I take the length of conductor as 1 meter and the force exerted by the or between the two parallel current carrying conductor is 2 into 10 minus 7 Newton. If the separation is 1 meter, then of course the current flowing in both the conductor must be equal, and this current will be of 1 ampere. Or in other words, we can say that if equal amount of current flows in two conductors which are placed at 1 meter distance and have the length of 1 meter, then if they exert the force equal to 2 into 10 minus 7 Newton on each other, the value of that equal current flowing through those wires or conductors is defined as 1 ampere, or is said to be 1 ampere.